Berry. I'm the head football coach here at Benedict College. Welcome to the jungle, baby. Welcome to Benedict College. It's a great day to be a Tiger.
Welcome back to another edition of the Coach Chennis Berry Show. You know, this all things BC football, and I got to tell you right off the bat, it was a battle. I got to tell you, they were in the trenches. I got to tell you, it was true grit. They were fighting for what they knew they had to do. Not only that, they knew the end game behind this game right here. And, you know, speaking about this game, we're talking about Tiger pride. These fellas went to Miles, did what they had to do. They came back with the win 27-24. And if you know the score, it's 27-24. And we knew going in it was going to be a battle, Coach. Mm-hmm. I'm done, Coach. We won. Whew. This is what we do.
That's what we do. We
talk about these games going in and going out, and it's about these guys putting it all on the line, and he did that for you. Now, we're going to break it down, but before I say that, we got to give big shouts. South Point Roofing and Restoration. You guys, I got to tell you, well, you help us bring this show to the masses who watch it each and every week because of the fact that they just love to know what our BC Tigers have done. So thank you so much, South Point. We appreciate you. We got some other great sponsors. I'm going to get into that as well. But tell me your thoughts on this game.
To God be the glory. Mm-hmm. One more time, man. You know, we talked about the word for the week was going to be physicality. We knew it was going to be a physical football game. And this old gospel song we listened to talks about it's a fixed fight, but it also talks about, well, we've already won. And we had that mindset all week. We knew it was going to be a physical football game, and it was. I was so very proud of our football team because they showed resilience through it all. This is the first time this year that we've been down in a game, but our team never, ever wavered at all. We found out what kind of football team we had, and you're talking about this is a program-defining win that we had. You know, we went down to hostile territory on the visiting team's campus and found a way to come away with a win. And, you know, we had to go work to go get it. But again, we know in the game of football, you know, good things are going to happen, keep playing. Bad things are going to happen, keep playing. And our young men stayed resilient through it all. And I'm very, very proud that we came away with a victory and we accomplished the mission. The mission doesn't change. Mm-hmm. That's to come back to Columbia, South Carolina, 1-0. And we were able to do that.
Yeah, they were. 1-0. 1-0. This is what BC does. And again, we want to give big shouts to our sponsors like Lexington Medical Center, Goodwill, we got Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Also on top of that, we got Founders Credit Union, Prisma Health, and also South Carolina Education Lottery. Whew, big bucks in that thing. Play responsibly.
That's right.
If you do play at all. All right, so listen, let's get into this game right here, right now. You ready, Coach?
Let's do it.
I mean, you know, we traveled a miles, and it was a crazy game. I got to tell you this, 27-24. We got a touchdown with like a little over 2 minutes left in the game, and that pretty much tells it. But before we get to the end of the game, let's go backwards. And I know in this first part of the game, it seems like both teams were fired up. They were hyped up. So it was going back and forth, defense, offense, fumbling. A lot of turnovers took place as well until it settled down. But Miles did get on that board first.
Well, just like you said, it was back and forth. A lot of ebb and flow happened in that game, and you know they turned the ball over, and then we turned the ball over, and it's just totally uncharacteristic of our football team. We always talk about winning 4 battles, and we feel like if we win these 4 battles, we can win football games, and that's when the effort battle. That's nothing to do with talent. That's when the turnover battle. That's when the penalty battle, and when the explosive play battle. And we feel like we can do those 4 things, we can win a football game. But we turned over the ball unlike we've done all year. I mean, we've taken care of the football all year, and they had a couple turnovers, we had a couple turnovers, and then our defense was able to cause a big turnover. Jerron Kilpatrick got an interception. He took it down all the way to the 14-yard line. Our offense, we're excited, we're in scoring range, we got a chance to get on the field, and here we go again. Our quarterback was getting ready to make a check. Our center wasn't ready, he wasn't locked in. He snapped the ball, quarterback wasn't ready. They ended up scooping the ball up and returned it all the way down to our territory where our defense now had to stand strong with their backs against the wall. And they've done like they've done all year. They found a way to hold those guys out the end zone, and they were able to settle with a 38-yard field goal. Now they're up 3-0.
That may have been the case where you guys are down 3-0, but it doesn't take long for you guys to get on the board.
Well, our guys responded, and I was very, very proud of us, answering the bell right there. And we were able to, start our drive, get it going. And then our quarterback, Aeneas Dennis, he was able to drop back for pass on one play, and he found Nick Soule coming across the middle on a shallow cross route, and he was able to do the rest. Nick Soule took it 73 yards for a touchdown. Now we get a chance to go up now. Now we're up 7-3.
Got to give it up to Tom Piccirillo. This guy seems to be money whenever it comes to adding that extra point in the game, which is important because those extra points, they're premiums.
Points are a premium.
When you talk about playing a team like Miles as well.
That's right.
So here it is, your defense, your special teams picks up actually. Miles is punting this ball, fumble ensues. You guys get this ball back.
Well, Day Peterson, he was able to, we put some pressure on those guys. They fumbled the snap. We were able to get them to fumble it and took it all the way down. So Day Peterson was able to scoop it up and got the ball all the way down to the 1 yard line. So now our offense gets an opportunity to come on the field and punch it in. And we did just that. We handed the ball off to Zaire Scotland, and he was able to go right up the middle for a big touchdown. Now we're up 14-3.
So after a Miles punt, Benedict gets the ball. They take over late in the first quarter. What's happening here is you got Dennis and Soule. These two connect for 21 yards.
Well, they had been connecting all week, and we knew just going into the week that they had a great connection. They were hitting it all week in practice, so we were excited to see them have a big game between those two in terms of passing the football. But we were able to, try to get a little drive started. So we were moving the ball a little bit. We found Izzy Rose on a little pass off the left side to move the ball for an 11-yard gain. And then we got to the point where we froze a little bit on that drive, and we had to attempt a field goal. So we sent Tom Piccirillo out there, which would have been his longest of his career, was a 46-yarder. He kicked it, had plenty of leg, but it went a little bit wide left, so we didn't get any points on that drive.
Miles takes over. They go on another long drive. As a matter of fact, they drive it all the way down to the Benedict 32. But that's when your defense, your front line, these guys step up to the plate. They get 3 incomplete passes, and then they go for it on the 4th down.
Well, our D-line's been hunting all year, and like you say, they had 3 straight incompletions, and they went for it on 4th down. And our D-line stood like they've been standing all year, got some big-time pressure on them, and we ended up getting a strip sack by Aaron Miller. So now they turn over the ball on downs.
Seems like a battle here on both sides of the ball at this game. And that's, games like this are good games.
Yes,
because everybody's putting it on the line. And it's an important game because you guys could meet again down the road.
Good possible.
It's a possible thing to happen. So let's get back to the game here. Tigers get the ball. It's a 32-yard pass. What happens from there?
Well, we start off the drive. We took a shot on 1st down. We were able to get the balls from Aeneas Dennis to Jalen Jones. Big time play, 32-yard pass. So we're moving the ball. Then we fed a little bit to Zaire Scotland. He had a big 10-yard run. So we were moving the ball, but the drive froze again. So we have an opportunity to kick another field goal. And everything was lined up right. We always talk about the operation. We have to have a good snap, good hold, good kick. But the kick had slow, light trajectory. It was a little bit low on the trajectory, and they were able to put their big paws up and was able to block that field goal. So we got no points on that drive as well.
So the two teams, we're talking about trading these punts in this game right here. And then Miles has the ball. Benedict forces another 3 and out. Ends up Miles has the punt again, but it takes a Benedict bounce, netting in only 7 yards.
Favor ain't fair. That was a blessing there. It was a windy game. For the most part, but they end up punting the ball, and then it ended up coming back to our favor. So we had the ball in good scoring range, and we were able to hit Zaire Scotland on the draw right up the middle. He was able to do the rest, so big-time touchdown for us right before the half. So now we're going into the half 21-3, and that was a big-time drive because we needed that points to get that separation. We always talk about those middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the first half. All right, we wanted to make sure we finished it off strong, and we were able to get points right before the half.
And that's it. That's the half, just as Coach said, 21-3. And it's been a battle all the way with this game, but there's still some more football to play. Your thoughts on this first half?
Well, like I say, we end up finishing up with points right before the half, but it was a lot of back and forth. And we knew coming into a game like this, we had to go take it. They weren't going to give us anything, and those guys fought. Although we have a pretty comfortable lead, 21-3 at the half, I know that our best football was still in front of us, and we had to figure out some things on offense, defense, and special teams. So we went in at halftime like we always do, and we just make adjustments. We talk about it as a staff first. what did we like, what didn't we like, what we need to fix, what we're going to come out in the second half and do. And our guys are very, very positive, but we always go in there, regardless if we're up and down, we always talk about being 0-0. So our guys had good attitudes coming in, making sure that we attacked that second half the right way. So we came out ready to rock and roll, but our guys were focused at that point, and I was very, very, very proud of our staff and making the adjustments that they made so we can go out in the second half and see if we can put it all together.
All right, 21-3. But we're going to come back on the second half. But before we do, we're going to hear from Reggie Harden. He's a wide receiver. And this guy right here is a junior from Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to get to find out more about him. We're going to go in depth, right, Coach?
That's right. Reggie Harden, great young man. So proud of him, man. He transferred to us last year, so he's been in our program a couple years. He was at Florida State University. He's a tall, rangy wide receiver, great young man. He's on our leadership council. He's crushing it academically as well with over a 3.5 GPA. So I'm glad to see, all the work that Reggie's put in, and he's a really, really good football player, but he's a great young man as well.
All right, there it is. Goodwill Player Spotlight, Reggie Harden. We're going to have him. Plus, of course, we want to give big shouts to South Point Roofing and Restoration. They are primary sponsors of the Coach Chennis Berry Show. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors as well in this break, but we'll come back with more right after this.
My name is Reginald Harden. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I grew up on the north side of urban Jacksonville, and I started playing football when I was 9 years old. I'm so passionate about playing sports because I just grew up with a competitive spirit. I grew up with 7 other siblings, so the competitiveness always been in my body, so it just translated to sports. And also sports gave me identity. I'm kind of like an introverted person, so sports allowed me to express my identity and personality in a different way in life. The top 5 priorities in my life at this moment would be faith, family, education, football, and fun. Go Tigers.
Your trip begins now. Your trip is your story, and all the best stories begin right here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Whether you travel for business or pleasure, we designed CAE to maximize your comfort. Maybe your trip is one of discovery, reunion, or time to close the deal. Wherever your trip ends, it all begins right here, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Welcome back to the Coach Chennis Berry Show, all things Benedict College Football. And again, brought to you by South Point Roofing and Restoration. And I tell you what, that first half, 21-3, you had your boys come into the locker room. What are some of the things you talked to them about?
Well, more than anything, just stay positive, guys. I mean, I talk to them about being 0-0. It's always that at the half, whether we're up or down, and just stay positive. We had a good plan. I thought the guys were doing some good things, but we were shooting ourselves in the foot with those sins that I talk about all the time, that self-inflicted negatives. But again, it's a new half. We got 30 more minutes. Let's come out there ready to rock and roll. Let's get a fast start. We knew that their offense was going to go out there first, so we wanted to tell our defense, make sure, man, you get them out there, get a 3 and out, get the ball back to our offense, and let's see what we can do with it.
Just as you said, Coach, Miles gets the ball back to start the second half. They don't do anything with it. They punt it, put you guys back on the 1 yard line.
Well, they end up punting and they pinned us deep, so we have to come with our backs against the wall. And like I tell our young men, just take one play at a time. And we actually started off the drive real good with a running play right off tackle with DeAndre Duhart. He was able to get about 4 or 5 yards. Then we were moving the ball, got a big first down, and we were actually starting to get the drive going. And like I tell them, just wind it down. It may end up turning into a 99-yard touchdown drive. Well, we had an opportunity. It was 3rd down, and we called one of our pass plays to get us a first down. And Aeneas Dennis broke the pocket, and he was ended up scrambling a little bit to his right, and he threw his first interception of the season. He tried to force one down the field, and he ended up throwing his first pick of the year. So again, he had been playing well, doing a good job of taking care of the football, but unfortunately, that drive ended with an interception.
And just as you say, the Golden Bears, they get the ball back and they take it down near midfield. And here it is, a 42-yard touchdown pass. But they missed their PAT after that.
They did. And, like I tell our guys, man, just take care of the moment. If we take care of the football and don't give them other possessions, we like our chances. So after we threw that interception, they were able to generate points from that. And then you start momentum, and that's when their momentum kind of start going. And, sometimes it's hard to stop that big Mo. And, unfortunately, we got to do a better job of taking care of the football. But ultimately, at the end of the day, our defense was able to give up a touchdown right there. So now we're up 21-9.
Tigers get the ball back, and as you say, they're on a drive. They're on a run with this thing, and they keep it alive as Aeneas Dennis, he gets an 11-yard run when it was 3rd and 10. So now you guys get a first down.
Well, like I said, we were moving the ball, and we were consistently moving the ball the whole entire game, but we would do things to shoot ourselves in the foot with those self-inflicted negatives. And like you say, Aeneas got a big-time run right there. He was able to gain 11 yards on 3rd and 10, so we're moving the chains. So on first down, we took a shot, and we ended up throwing the ball to one of our tight ends on a wheel route, but the young man was covered. Probably should have threw it away, but we forced it up there and ended up throwing another interception, and now they get the ball back. And we were actually moving the ball into our territory. So now, again, we talk about that momentum, and what ended up happening on that drive, they end up getting a touchdown on that drive. So they're really rolling with the momentum right now, but we're giving it to them. It's nothing that particularly, again, I respect all opponents, but if we're continuing to put their offense back on the field, we have to do a better job of taking care of the football because the ball is the baby.
Golden Bears, they get the ball, they go on a 10-play, 86-yard drive, and they score with a 13-yard pass. Now the score is 21-16, again, off of turnovers.
Got to take care of that ball. And that momentum that we talk about all the time ended up hurting us. All right, they were moving the ball. They ended up getting some things going. And now we're up. That lead's getting cut. So now we're only up by 5. It's 21-16. But we have to do a better job of taking care of the football. And that is the most important thing. The ball is the baby.
21-16, Benedict gets the ball back, and, they're facing a 4th and 1 right at midfield.
We were moving the ball again. We went for it on 4th and 1. We were out of field goal range, and then we weren't at the point where we wanted to punt it. So we went for it on 4th and 1, and we handed the ball off to Zaire Scotland. And he's been getting yards all year, but unfortunately on this play, they had a little run through, and we fell short. So we didn't get the 4th down. So now we had to turn it over on downs. Now we're going to put their offense right back there on the field.
Golden Bears take over. They get a 32-yard pass, then they score on a 22-yard run. It's got to make you guys feel a little depleted, just a little bit.
Well, at this point, we're up 21-16, and like you say, they drove it down the field. And at the end of the day, they scored a touchdown. So now, it's 22-21. They're up, and this is the first time we're down all season. But they decided to go for a 2-point conversion, and they end up converting. So now we're down 24-21. And a lot of that kudos to Miles and their staff putting a plan together. But those self-inflicted negatives, us turning over the football, putting their offense back on the field, really, really hurt us in this football game.
Miles is up 24-21. It's 7:44 left in this game. So now it comes down to what we call crunch time for your Benedict College Tigers.
Tell you what, that's the one thing I love about this football team. We practice situational football all the time. And we knew we just had to have an opportunity to believe first and foremost. Now, this is the very first time, other than the start of this game, and at this point, that we've been down the whole entire season. So we were going to find out at this point what kind of football team we really had. And those signs of those true great championship teams are built in these type moments. Last time I checked, I grew up a big Bulls fan, and, I watched a lot of NBA, and I don't think they blew out every team on their routes to championships. They had to have those tough moments, overtime, buzzer beaters. And that was the moment that I found on this football team what we really were. We were resilient through it all, and all we did was just run our offense. We took the ball down the field methodically, run, pass, and Aeneas Dennis, I tell you what, he completely did a great job on that drive, just finding, running, pass, handing it off to people, and Nick Sowell. Nick Sowell was big on this drive. All right, and I'm so excited about Nick Sowell. Nick Sowell ended up having an amazing day, but he had an amazing week of practice, and he's bought in to what we're asking him to do. You're talking about 6'6", 200-pound wide receiver from a winning program. So he's been in winning environments like that before, right here from Dutch Fork High School, right here in Columbia, South Carolina. But just to see how we just took that ball down the field, a little mixture of run, a little mixture of pass, and we were faced with some adverse situations on that drive. I mean, it was some 3rd and long, 4th down where we had to convert, and they just kept finding each other up and down the field. And right before we scored, we were able to find Nick Sawyer on another big-time play. And on this play, if you see this play, Nick got knocked on the ground. He was literally on the ground, got back up. Aeneas Dennis found him because, again, he's got big catch radius. He found him right there inside the red zone, and the young man did the rest, took it all the way down to the 1-yard line. And then right after that, we hand the ball off to Zaire Scotland. Now we go back up with like 2 minutes to go in the game. We're up now 27-24. But just to see those young men, how they fought, and just winning the down. They don't worry about the end goal, just win the down and fall in love with the process of what we talk about all the time, chop wood, carry water. Don't worry about the end goal, just win the down, win the play, and then ultimately at the end of the day, we took that drive down and took the lead with like 2 minutes to go. Now we're up 27-24. Very, very proud of the resilience that was showed by this football team on that drive.
I got to tell you, I'm so proud of the resiliency of this team as well. 27-24. It's only 2 minutes, as you said. Just a little bit over 2 minutes left in this game. We did miss the PAT on this one, but that's okay. Your defense stood up because now it's Miles' turn. They come down. Your defense, a big stand, 3rd and 1, incomplete pass, and then there's a sack on the 4th down as they go for it.
So we talk about points being a premium, right? So when we went up with that touchdown, we're up 27, all right, to 24. Now we need this extra point. So now we're going to force them to have to score a touchdown. You know, they had their 3 timeouts left, all right, but we knew that we had an opportunity. We had ours as well, and we had an opportunity to put this game away. So our defense goes back on the field and just kept winning it down. We don't worry about the end goal, just win the down. And we were able to get a big-time sack to end that game, and we ended up winning this football game on the road, hostile territory. We knew it was going to be a heavyweight fight, and that's exactly what it was. And I'll tell you what, our fans got a chance to just witness a resilient football team. Very, very proud of the people that traveled. Tiger Nation was there strong. I looked up in the stands, they were there strong. We were there, and we understand when we go on the road, all right, we have to bring our own juice. Okay, when we mean bring our own juice is we have to have momentum. We got to talk about all those things that are important, winning the down, and it's only 58 of us. SIAC only allows us to travel 58 on the road. Well, we have 110 players, but we can only travel 58. So we have another half of our team are back at home cheering us on, but ultimately at the end of the day, those young men believed in the whole entire process. We went through some adversity as a football team, but we found a way to accomplish the mission, and the mission is to go 1-0, and we did just that.
And yeah, big shouts to Aaron Miller. He was the guy on that 4th down when Miles went for it to get that sack to end this thing, and we come away with the victory, 27-24. Now, what we got to talk about is what, you talk to these guys about in that locker room. We'll get to that. We'll also talk about the next game that's going to be coming up, Fort Valley, and that's a home game, folks, so we're going to need you to pack out at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. We also have our assistant coach spotlight brought to you by Lexington Medical Center. We'll get into that as well. So we're not done. We still have a ways to go. Just a little bit. Hang tight with us. And we say thank you again, South Point Roofing and Restoration, for making this show happen, and all of our other sponsors, which you're going to get to see in just a tad bit. And don't forget, at our home games, Columbia Metropolitan Airport, you know what they do? They want to send you on a trip. And they will. We'll tell you about that, too, coming up next, right after this.
At Lexington Medical Center, we want you to lead a long and healthy life, and we're here to help you do just that. Our experienced team of healthcare professionals wants nothing more than to help make you well again. Take good care of yourself, and remember, we're here for you whenever you need us. If you don't already have a doctor or you're looking for a new one, choose from more than 70 physician practices at Lexington Medical Center. We wish you a lifetime of good health and happiness. Be well.
Hi, I'm Coach Loper. I coach the wide receivers, and I'm the passing game coordinator at Benedict College. I started coaching right after high school at my high school. I would go back in the summers at Loyola Prep in Shreveport, Louisiana. My junior and senior year of college at LSU, I coached at University Lab High School. I'm lucky enough to win 2 state championships there, and then I graduated college. I became a GA, assistant receivers coach at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I did that until the fall of 21, and then I came to Benedict College here in the spring of 2022. My first coach and mentor will be John Thompson. That's my grandfather. He coached high school football in Louisiana. And then also I feel like I had good coaches, starting with Coach Jeter at Loyola Prep in Shreveport, Louisiana, when I was a player. I was around a really good staff at University Lab High School in Baton Rouge. And then when I was at Southern, I had a whole bunch of coaches. I would sit down with a lot of really good offensive coaches we had, coordinators, position coaches, obviously Coach Barry. And then we also had really good defensive coaches who just taught me not just about football, but also being a coach. And they would, take time and we'd sit and talk. So I feel like I got a lot of good coaches to learn from. And then also this is a great staff right here. Our defensive staff is currently running the #1 defense in the country. So just really getting to watch and observe them every day, I find that really, really helpful. My favorite coaching memories, I wouldn't say I just have one, but I always enjoy the first game, always with a new team, whether it was my first game at University Lab or first game at Southern or first game here at Benedict. And then I've been lucky enough to win 3 championships. The first 2 were really cool. University Lab High School. Last season was really special, being the first one in school history here at Benedict. So just a whole lot of fun. And then also really enjoy anytime someone makes their first catch or their first touchdown. As recently as last game, our receiver Jalen Jones, he had scored 2 touchdowns this year. They were both called back to penalties, and then he finally got his first touchdown that counted right before the half this past game versus Morehouse. So I really enjoyed those. But I think it's more about certain type of moments that I enjoy coaching in, whether it's a first for somebody or a first for me, or just a big team accomplishment. I find those really fun, just seeing that hard work pay off. So go Tigers.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back, with products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason: to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax, because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
You've never been afraid to put in the work. The extra early, extra late, extra work. Because you understand that education is the key that unlocks everything. Better pay, better hours, better opportunities, a better you. And playing the lottery is no different. Getting educated before you play gives you the tools you need to be a better player, like knowing when to play and when to take a rain check. Visit sceducationlottery.com/betteryou to be a better player.
Welcome back to the Coach Chennis Berry Show, brought to you by South Point Roofing and Restoration. And listen, you just learned a little bit more about Coach Looper, who is your wide receiver coach and also director of football operations. This guy handles those wide receivers.
Well, Coach Loper does a great job. Coach Loper was, I remember him as a young coach. He was a graduate assistant for me when I was the offense coordinator at Southern University. I saw a bright future in the young man, brought him here. So this is year 2 in the program. And not only does he coach those wide receivers, and he does a great job with those guys. Very, very smart football coach. He handles all the operations as well. So, that's a job in itself, to be able to handle, hotels, travel, meals, and things of that nature. So very, very grateful with the growth that Coach Connor Loper is having in our program.
And on your wide receiver coach, you got to talk about Nick Soul, who, of course, is one of your wide receivers, who broke some records this past weekend.
Nick Soul, I tell you what, Coach Loper does a great job with those young men. And Nick had a great day. I was just so proud of the young man because he's really bought into what we're doing. He's got amazing talent. He's got big catch radius. And, young man, 6'6", and he had a great day. And, I noticed that he and Aeneas Dennis were staying after practice, working on some timing, some things that were important. And to see them go out there and have the day that they had, especially with Nick Soul, a lot of times he was making plays, just unbearable plays. He was just catching the ball in different type of catch radiuses, strong hands, and he was able to have an amazing day with 9 catches, 174 yards, and a touchdown. What a big day by Nick Soul. Very, very proud of that young man.
I'm proud of the team, and of course, I'm proud of Nick as well. Congratulations on that career-breaking day that you had. All right, so you in the locker room after this tough battle that you had with Miles. What do you talk to the guys about?
Well, first thing I told them, I was so proud of this football team. I told the coaches as well and the players just how grateful I am to be the head football coach here and how they showed their resilience through it all. You know, you need moments like that when you're building a football program. Every game's not going to be 50-0. All right, they have coaches, they have players on scholarship too. And we knew going down to Miles College, which is a good program. Coach Sam Shea's doing an amazing job down there in his program, getting those guys believing. But our guys found a way. And I was very, very proud of them. Told all of them, each and every one, all 58, that everybody paid a price. And we always talk about paying the fee. It costs to be a champion. And that fee is amazing focus, amazing effort, and amazing execution. And we were able to do that and found a way to come back to Columbia, South Carolina with a victory. So again, all in all, very, very proud of their efforts.
We're proud of them too, no doubt about it. And now we're looking forward to another tough week here. We got Fort Valley State coming in. They're 5-1, so it's not going to be another pushover. This is going to be a tough battle. Not only that, but it's under the bright lights. Nationally televised on ESPN2, and it's a Thursday night game. So hopefully you guys are going to be out there to pack it out, because there's nothing better than to see on national TV a stadium full of BC Tigers rooting on the team that's going to be taking that field.
So important, so important. That 12th man, you know, like you say, we're playing Fort Valley this upcoming weekend, traditionally powerhouse program. They're coming in here, all right? And we want to make sure, all right, that we have 11,000 screaming fans in Charlie Johnson Stadium. That's my plea to you, to come join us. Right there, beautiful venue, a team that's rocking and rolling on the field, a great product out there for you to see. What a great environment. I'm so excited about Tiger Nation coming out and supporting. When I look in those stands, I want to see 11,000 purple and gold screaming fans cheering us on as we take on Fort Valley State University.
Fort Valley State, by the way, has won 5 in a row. They lost their first to Tuskegee, which didn't count in the SIAC, but 5 in a row, so they're on the terror here as they come through. Now they're going to come meet with us. Explosive offense, not only that, but they're scoring like 31 points a game, and they also have a top leading rusher in Brandon Marshall.
Good football team, well-coached football team. Coach Gibbs is doing a great job with those guys. Got those guys believing and playing hard. You know, like you say, right now they're on a winning streak. All right, so they're going to come into the jungle. You know, we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm sure he'll have his football team ready to go. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we have to continue to have a good week of practice and be focused on the task at hand. And the task doesn't change. Our mission each and every week is to go 1-0. But we got a good Fort Valley State football team that come in here, and we got to be ready to go this upcoming Thursday night.
I mean, the defense is going to have to step up, no doubt about that. You talk about your cornerbacks, you talk about your safeties, you talk about your defensive ends, the whole 9 yards, even that front line. Because this QB for Fort Valley State is leading the SIAC in touchdown passes.
Well, our defense will be ready to go. They do have a really good quarterback. He's a dual threat. He can run, he can pass. Our defense will be ready to go. Our defense has been playing good ball all year. They understand their role and what they have to do in order to contain this quarterback. So everybody's got to do their part. All 11 on defense. We always talk about doing their 111, and they'll be ready, they'll be prepared. We always talk about the separation is in the preparation. Russell Wilson coined that phrase. Well, our young men will be prepared and they'll be ready to go, and I'm excited to see our football team play this upcoming Thursday versus Fort Valley State University.
All right, so again, remember, it's a Thursday night game, 7:30 kickoff over at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. And on top of that, you can get your tickets at benedicttickets.com. That's benedicttickets.com. And again, you know what? Thursday night, ESPN2, nationally televised. TV exposure's got to be great.
Prime time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of living rooms so we get a chance to tune in. And not only just for the two institutions, for Benedict College and Fort Valley State, just representing HBCU football, putting a good brand out there. What a beautiful thing. I mean, they get moved up. It was originally going to be on ESPNU. Now they bumped it up to ESPN2. This is great marketing for our whole entire college. You know, not just showing what Benedict football is doing, but our college, to show that you'll get an opportunity to come to a great place, a great institution of higher learning, to have an opportunity for potential students, all right, not just student athletes, to choose Benedict College. We'll get a chance to showcase our great brand, which is BC, the best of BC. We'll get a chance to showcase our great stadium, our great fan base. That's why we want to make sure everybody's there. And then for recruiting, just recruiting in general. You know, you're talking about living rooms all across the country, young student athletes that's choosing whether they're going to go to school and considering a HBCU and get an opportunity to see the product that we have. So I'm super excited to see the fruits of our labor get a chance to be shown for the world to see, not just the people locally and regionally, but for the world to see what Benedict College has to offer.
Absolutely. Benedict College 1-0 for the 6th week in a row. Make sure you come on out to Charlie W. Johnson Stadium and catch this game. Again, 7:30 kickoff over at Charlie W. Come on out. And again, you can get your tickets at benedicttickets.com. That's benedicttickets.com. And this show is brought to you by South Point Roofing and Restoration. We also have some great sponsors like Lexington Medical Center, Goodwill, Columbia Metropolitan Airport. When you come, make sure you stop at the table, register, because they want to fly you off. They really do. All you got to do is register. It won't cost you a dime. We're talking about Columbia Metropolitan Airport. If you haven't been to that facility, it is so nice out there. I fly every week. Also, we Founders Credit Union, Founders Federal Credit Union, Prisma Health, and also South Carolina Education Lottery. And if you're going to play responsibly, but there's a lot of money to be grabbed with that thing going on there. Coach, it's always a pleasure with you.
Pleasure as well, man. Look forward to doing it every week, man. It's a great day to be a Tiger, and let's get ready to go get it. Let's pack out the jungle. Let's pack it out this upcoming Thursday at 7:30 kickoff. Let's get it. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
My man.